How's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to week 17 of our trading journey in the year 2024. Two topics I want to discuss. The first one is our performance on our trading for this week. And the second topic is I added a 21st funded account from TradeDay. So I want to go through how that entire process is. But before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. So topic number one is our performance for the week. And this is something that I post daily for transparency purposes on YouTube and other social media handles like Instagram, Reddit, and Threads. If you have those accounts, please feel free to follow me on those. This is my post on Friday where we had a nice total of $1,756.64 across 21 funded accounts. You're probably wondering, well, on Apex, you can only have 20 accounts. And really, the 21st account is a TradeDay account. So stick around, or you can jump to the timestamp on the second topic for today, which will be an overview on TradeDay. As you can see right here, these are the 20 Apex accounts that we've been trading for about 7 or 8 days now. And then we have the TradeDay, which is the 21st account. Right here, it's a 10K account, and I'll go into more details about that on the next topic. And we have one combine left for Top Step, which is the one on top here. That one, hopefully, that can be turned into a funded account sometime next week also. And up top here, I just, I put this just so no one does a screenshot of my images and repost it as their own, which has happened in the past. But yeah, that is our performance that you can see daily on the posts that I make whenever I have the opportunity to do so. And I'll go through exactly how we did. So I tracked that via the Excel sheet. See, on this Excel sheet, how this works is essentially we have this starting cash from the previous week and then the total ending cash for the week based on the total PL so far. And if I, got a payout or whatnot, I would then include that as a withdrawal. So it'll be subtracted from that value. And for the week here, you can see it's a nice week actually. It was a total of $7,284.64 across 21 accounts. Still a ways, right? It's not real money until it hits my bank account, and I still have a ways to actually hit the actual payout where I need a minimum 10 days for Apex and hit a profit of $1,600. However, I'm taking my time. As you can see from a lot of my posts, the gains I'm getting is very minimal, and my main focus really is to get to a point where my drawdown is now at a static, and that static drawdown will occur when the total PL for the account is at 26,600, which means that the drawdown will stop at 25,100. So a lot of my failures in the past was really due to the drawdown, getting used to that. It's a very difficult thing. And that's the main reason why my focus right now is just getting to a static drawdown. So with this performance here, just do a quick breakdown. On Monday was a nice $3,000 day. On Tuesday, nice, a little over 1,000. You can see on Wednesday and Thursday, I had a lot of errands to take care of, but I still wanted to put in some trading time where I could without forcing anything. So still respectable days, right? And then on Friday I had more time, and that's why we got to about $1,756.64. And if you're probably wondering how am I coming up with those values, so I created a new tab here, and what I'm listing is basically for each day, this is the starting cash for each of the PAs and the TradeDay account. And you can see here I've highlighted in yellow. This is what I'm using as my lead account actually, and it's falling behind but about $10 a little bit. And if you're wondering, I don't exit with market. I exit with either a stop or a limit, so that's why a lot of these values are pretty close to each other using the trade copier. But if you were trading and you were to do a flatten all where it's a market order, a lot of these numbers could be very different. That's just my style. I always trade with a OCO or a bracket. And if things are going bad, then I will use the flatten all, but as much as possible, I don't want to do that because on a very drastic movement, you could have some fills that you may not be very happy with. And on that last one here, trade day, which I'm going to talk about on the next topic, I traded it only for really just one day, $80.64 for on Fridays when I traded it. So what it's showing here is really just the starting cash on the day of, in case you're wondering why it's $80.64 on Saturday. So welcome to the second topic, which is my 21st funded account, and this account is from TradeDay. And before we get started, I want to make it clear I am not an affiliate for TradeDay. So the words are, just my own opinion. So I'm not getting paid for whatever I'm saying here, other than the ads from YouTube. So I appreciate you for supporting the channel because I do get some income from the ads there. But the main thing with TradeDay, like what I did with the other funding firm, is I want to make sure I run through from the actual evaluation to a funded account and actual payout in the bank. And only then will I sign up for their affiliate link. TradeDay is, how I would describe this, is the most realistic funding firm out of any that I've tried so far. And really, I've only tried Apex, Top Step, and TradeDay. So really, my breadth of experience is not a lot as far as funding firm goes. But what I mean by that is I used to trade my own money for 3 to 4 years before I decided to switch to funding firms. And how TradeDay set up is very realistic to how I started with my own money. Let's go to the type of accounts that they do have. So with TradeDay, you can only have one account. So with Top Step, you can have up to 3 funded accounts. With Apex, you can have up to 20 funded accounts. But with TradeDay, they make it realistic to a point where you only can have one account. Okay, just one account for the evaluation. However, the difference is once you pass that evaluation, you have 2 choices. You can go to a funded simulation account where you can have profits up to $5,000, and that gets switched to a live account. Or once you pass the evaluation, you can go straight to a live account. And the difference there is, in a live account, you have to pay professional fees to the CME, about $150 or so, I believe, on the cost on that. So some people may think of that as a downside, but in reality, for the rules of it, right, you are now a contractor and trading professionally for a company, hence the fees. So that's why it makes this more realistic in that sense. So pros and cons there. I'll let that be up to you to decide on how you want to do it. And the other big difference too is the cost. You can see here on a 50K account, even with their 20% off, and they don't do a lot of deals as far as I know, that's $132 a month. And that is pretty significant compared to the 80 or 90% off from the other funding firms, which would be around $30 a month. And also, pros and cons in this, to me this is a pro, but with a 50K account, max 5 contracts. With other ones, you can have up to 10 max contracts for those. So I'm saying this is a bit more realistic, because in a 50K account, if you were trading your own money, one account for one contract, really you need a margin of about $10,000. So to me, that's why it's pretty realistic. What I ended up choosing for my evaluation was a 10K account. I tried the 50K, but it didn't work out. So really, I tried the 10K, and that was actually my attempt number 2. So I'm pretty happy with the progress with that one. Essentially, the target is $1,000, and the drawdown is end of day. So end of day drawdown, that's pretty good. As you know, with other funding firms, with the dynamic drawdown, it's pretty difficult. At least with an end of day drawdown, you don't get penalized for not taking the profit on the unrealized side. So pros and cons there again, but the main thing that I liked about this is max 1 contract. So a lot of my progress so far, which I consider success, is that this has limited the number of contracts I can trade, and it's kept me pretty humble and pretty boring. And boring is good right now because I just need to get my accounts to a point where I can get a payout and grow the account before we can increase the movements that I have when I am trading. So just that's a quick summary on the type of accounts that they do have. They offer a 10K, as I mentioned, a 25K, a 50K, 100K, and 150K, and also 250K that I was not aware of. So if you like to trade big, go for those. But for me, I'm a person where the 10K account was perfect for me because when I traded my own account, I used to trade micros up to 1 contract, size myself up to a point where I grew my account to 50,000. So I was able to trade about max 4 contracts. So really my sweet spot or my comfort zone is just the 1 contract. So this is the actual dashboard that you see from TradeDay once you have an evaluation account. For mine, what it's showing here is that I am funded. So it's a little different in this sense. A section here that I do want to point out when you have the evaluation account is the consistency rule, which you may be familiar with. Essentially, there is a 30% consistency rule. The difference though with a funded account is there's no such thing as a consistency rule. So not having a consistency rule is actually pretty good for me because I know that what I earn is money that I can withdraw. So there is a minimum of a PL of $500 because before you can make a withdrawal. What's great with this one is as long as you have $500, it doesn't matter how many days you've traded. You are able to withdraw as far as I know. And that's one area that I want to do a recording on in the future when we get to a point, hopefully, where we can make a withdrawal. So like other funding firms, they have a Discord that is pretty responsive, and if you have a question, they will respond right away, and their support is actually pretty helpful. So I really like that aspect of it. And the last part that I want to discuss is RicePay. So this is what TradeDay uses to pay you. So you can make a withdrawal at any time you want as long as you have a minimum $500. As far as my understanding, you can withdraw at any time as long as you have a minimum of $500. But that's definitely something that I would need to look into a bit more. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the content this week. Thank you for following my journey. Please write some comments if you have some questions, and I shall see you on the next one. All right, have a good one.